Hey everyone, it's Rob Loferese with Daily Classics. Today is Saturday, December 30th, last day, well, not the last day, but the last day I'm going to be on this thing until the new year, which starts on January 1st, 2024. What I wanted to do was kind of sum up the top 10 posts that we had for the calendar year based on Facebook's analytics, which includes engagement, comments, shares and searches. So I thought I'd take you through that today. If you not a subscriber to this new YouTube channel, please subscribe below and also like the video too if you enjoy watching the video. So let me take you through the top 10 cars. We posted over 1,700 cars during calendar year 2023, and while that number doesn't sound like a lot, we look at 10,000 cars a week easily, just checking out cars and weeding them through. So when I pull out 3 or 4 cars on a given day, or 2 or 1, understand that those cars are cars that I would recommend in a way, something that I would buy. And that's how this whole Daily Classic started. It was basically, I was looking at cars every morning, so why not share what I'm looking at with some other folks and see if they agree with what I'm finding. And the page now has grown to over 9,500 subscribers on the page, on the Facebook page. We're trying to grow the YouTube channel as a way of you getting to know me personally, and to try to really present this to a larger group of people outside of Facebook as well. So I'm going to start a live Q&A sessions beginning next week, and we'll do probably 1 a week, depending on how many people come on. In order to participate in the live Q&A, you need to subscribe to the channel. So please subscribe again below, and also like the channel if you enjoy what you're seeing. So without further delay, let's get into some of the top posts for the calendar year. And I'll share these pages with you by doing these things, clicking that and clicking this. Okay, first up has to do with anything Cordoba. This 79 Chrysler Cordoba was reached a large audience, and most of you loved the car. The Cordoba was in 2 generations, 75 and 80 through 83. The generation that seemed to get most hits was the first generation, which was 75 to 79. So the Chrysler Cordoba, something I never thought of until I started this page. And now that folks like the car, I'm going to be hunting some of these down next year as well. When I find them, I'll post them. I find cars that I don't like, they're not going to make the cut. But when I find cars that I do enjoy, that appear to be in good shape, I'll put them on. So the Chrysler Cordoba, or the Chrysler 300, however it's badged for that calendar year, these cars here, I think, are sleepers in the marketplace, and something that you might enjoy owning and driving. They're not going to be super collectible by any means, but they're certainly a beautiful daily classic. So that's the Chrysler Cordoba. Next up, this car here, the Oldsmobile Starfire, actually, I think was the top post for the calendar year. The Starfire is also, that car was built, I think, from 75 to 1980. It shares, the signature, the sisters are the Buick Skyhawk, the Sunbird, and the Monza. The Chevy we all are more familiar with, because that car hit the racing circuits quite a bit in the 70s. I'm not sure if the International Race of Champions raced that car, but I remember seeing a lot of the Chevy Monzas with the flared out fender wells and the big deep spoilers and things like that. You can get up to a 305 V8 in these cars. This one here had the 3.8 liter V6, but I think what made this car very attractive was it was a manual transmission as well. That interior is all, when you look at that interior, all I see is Chevy Vega. That's the exact shift pattern, because I owned a 74 Chevy Vega, so I know. But a really nice car. At least the folks on Daily Classics enjoyed it. So we'll be looking for more Starfires. We'll be looking for Skyhawks and Sunbirds and Monzas in calendar year 2024, because you seem to like them. Next up has to do with anything Pontiac Firebird Trans Ams, especially the last generation, the 4th generation, which ran from 93 to 2002. That Trans Am and the Formula editions are really nice cars, and we're seeing the prices of these cars are now going up, as they should, because the car has the potential of really drawing younger crowds to the collector car market as well. So I believe that these cars will continue to do very well in the next 5-10 years ahead of us, especially exceptional examples, meaning that the cars were taken care of if they're original. It's nice to find original cars, whether it has a T-top or not, but if it's original, original paint, original engine, it was cared for. I don't care if the paint is faded, or if the seats need to be reupholstered, but the originality is really key in these cars, I think. So we'll be looking for more Pontiac Firebirds. We'll be looking for the 4th generation Firebirds. Like I said, they had the SLP Firehawk SL1 editions. Those cars are already going over $40,000. The Trans Ams, of course, the 25th and 30th anniversary editions. But for me, any Trans Am or Formula during this period of 93 to 2002 has my attention. And why did I pick this over the Camaro? I think the Camaro and the Trans Am was split when it comes to popularity. But I like the Firebird only because we're not building any more Firebirds. So I think it has exclusivity in that regard. Next up, what did we like? Oh, this is our go-to car. Every time we post a Crown Victoria or anything built on the Panther platform, the Mercury Grand Marquee, these cars are exciting in a way that they're affordable still, and you can still find a few that have not been beat up and you can enjoy them. They're honest cars, meaning that they give you exactly what you pay for it. It's not going to be a future collectible in a big way, but they're going to be very nice, refined sedans that you can have some fun in rather than buying something new. The problem that we have with these Crown Vics and the Grand Marquis is that at one time I could put my fishing net in the waters of Florida and pull up 24 of these on any given day. And now, of course, as the population ages, these cars have also aged. So finding nice examples are becoming more difficult, not impossible, but more difficult. So we'll still keep trying to find Crown Vics and Grand Marquis for 2024 because it appears that you folks like them as well. Next up is anything that has to do with, I'm going to put this in the category of anything that has to do with American motors. The Javelins, the non AMXs of the world, and the high performance models, the Hornets, the Paces, the Gremlins, anything American motors, I think, is still undervalued, has a limited audience. But for me, for a daily classic, I think the car has a lot of statement to it. I just think this car here, the 68, is gorgeous. I mean, this was $21,500, but it's that a little bit on the high end. But when you really think about it, it's a 68, and what is a 68 Chevelle going for right now? So these are nice cars. I mean, so in the category of anything American motors, I'm going to be hunting down those cars in calendar year 2024 in particular, because it seems that everybody likes them as well. Next up is anything that has to do with the Mercury Cougar, whether it be the newer editions or whether it be the older models of 76, it seems to get a lot of attention. And this 76 Mercury Cougar XR7 with the 460 cubic inch engine for $8,000. You may not like the front grille work. You may not like the 5-mile-an-hour bumper, but there's no getting around it. These cars are a good value and a really good daily classic. Again, not something that's going to be, you're not going to retire on this car at all, but you're going to have a lot of fun driving this on the weekends, getting to know it, getting into the hobby, going to local car clubs and car shows. And everybody comes up with their Boss 302 Mustangs and GTOs. You're going to pull up with this Mercury Cougar, and believe it or not, you're going to get a lot of people asking questions about it. So this to me is a perfect example of what a daily classic is. Kind of a lot of fun. Next up is, this was surprising, the Mustang II. The Mustang II was a short-lived car, 74 to 78, I believe. It was about 500 pounds lighter, 20 inches shorter, maybe a little less, but of what the 73 model was. And Ford Motor Company sold 1 million units in 4 years, and that's a lot. So The Mustang II with a 302 V8. This one here was the Gia edition, which was Lee Iacocca's way of saying that he knows Italian. It's a car that I totally forgot about until I started finding them and you started liking them. So we'll be looking at the Ford Mustang IIs. Whether you would buy one or not, that's another conversation. But I think for the value, it's an exciting car. Almost kind of reminds me of the Ford or the Lincoln Mercury Capri of the time, because it is smaller. Here's one that we found that was the Cobra 2 appearance package, which I thought was nice as well. So yeah, Mustang 2s, when I find them, I'll post them. Next up is a car close to me, near and dear. One of my favorite all-time cars, the 928. This car about 7-8 years ago didn't go through the roof, and now they're going through the roof. Ever since Tom Cruise's risky business 928 went through the auctions for over $1 million, people started paying attention to 928s. During COVID, these cars started taking off, and they're still going north on the pricing spectrum. I can see an 87 or 88 928 with 70,000 original miles going for $75,000 in less than 5 years from now. There's no reason that the car won't continue to do well, because it's that special. They didn't make many of these cars. Most of them are in automatic transmissions. This one we found, the 78 with manual transmission, is a rare car. There were some gray market cars introduced as well during the time, but most of the 928s you'll see here in the United States will be US spec. My favorite is the 1987. It was the new design. It was the S4. It had the new front fascia, the new rear bumpers. And that car right now is probably going to set you back $40,000. And you could have bought that car 8 years ago for $22,000. So we're going to be hunting down more Porsche 928s because I like them personally. But according to the Facebook analytics, you guys like that car as well. So we'll be hunting those down. Next up is anything that has to do with the Ford Torino, whether a Grand Torino, and also the Galaxy 500s. So here's a 73 Ford Torino everybody liked. I'm not sure if the miles, and this had a 351 Cleveland engine, but even the this one here, a 71 Ford Torino 500 with a 351 Cleveland. This was going for $25,000. That was a lot of money, but when you think about it, if this car was as nice as it's advertised, $20,000 makes sense. So you got to negotiate. Maybe we'll have a YouTube video on how to negotiate, or at least how I do it. I like to hear your methods, but I always would try to pay less. But in the category of Ford Torino or Galaxy 500, it appears that you folks like these cars, and especially this one. And I'm going to try to find more of these in calendar year 24 as well. And finally, this car here, I wasn't on my radar screen for the longest time, but for the past 2 years, it has been the Cadillac XLR. The XLR it ran from 2004 to 2009. And it was a luxury roadster. We all know that, built off the Corvette Y platform. But it is very exclusive in its way. It has the North Star engine, which is controversial in its own way, but I'll deal with the controversy on the North Star engine. It's got a transaxle. It's got a hardtop, a retractable hardtop. It's got the most expensive rear taillights in the world has ever seen. But it has the sharp lines and sharp edges that almost reminds me of something that maybe Elon Musk would design these days, because his Cybertruck also has those sharp lines as well. But this car is timeless in its look. It's a nice performing automobile. It's more luxury appointed. It's something that I can get cozy with. And if I can find this car again for $13,700, I'd probably buy it today. This was back in April. But this car here probably will be a $25,000 car in less than 3 years if trends continue. And that's basically it. I just wanted to take you through some of the things that we did in calendar year 2023 and look forward to 2024 with you all as well. Again, we have 9,500 members on our Facebook page. I'm going to try to grow this YouTube page as well, so you get to know me better. You can ask questions about my history, my education, what I've done with cars and such. We can have some fun with that. We can also discuss cars that you might be interested in buying, so I can try to find some for you. But we're here to have fun. We're here to have a good time with cars, because that's what pulls us all together across these great states in the United States. I don't care where you live, what state you're in. If you're a car person, I love you. And I'm going to find the car in your market and enjoy your town, enjoy your community and people and restaurants and everything that has to do with buying cars. So let's have a great holiday weekend. Let's hope for a safe one for all of us. If you're driving in particular, be careful. And we'll look forward to talking again come January 1st. Look for my new Q&A announcement that we'll start doing. You have to be a subscriber to this page on YouTube, so please subscribe below and like the page as well. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday weekend. And I'm going to spend this afternoon with my grandson, I don't know if you can see this, building my 67 Cyclone GT model that I got as a gift. So we'll have some fun with that. Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you and talking with you soon. And Happy New Year. Bye.